Hi guys, something is moving, perhaps very, very slowly, on the Brexit front. The leader of the Conservative Party, Kemi Badenoch, recently criticised her party for not having a post-Brexit plan for growing the economy. And then we had this from Davey, the leader of the Liberal Democrats, one of the more pro-European parties in Parliament. Now he complained here about Keir Starmer's lukewarm approach to dealing with the problems of Brexit. He said that the approach to Europe needs to be far more ambitious and requires far more urgency than what's happening at the moment. Then he upped the pressure. Have a listen.
Now, the Prime Minister has at least recognised the need to reset our relationship with the EU. But so far, I'm afraid that only seems to amount to saying no more politely than the Conservatives. The UK must be far more positive, far more ambitious, and act with far more urgency. That is why today I'm calling on the government to negotiate this year a brand new deal with the EU. Not just tinkering around the edges of the botched deal the Conservatives signed 4 years ago, but negotiating a better deal for Britain that has at its heart a new UK-EU customs union to come into force by 2030 at the latest.
Okay, this is good news. Really, this is good news. Now, I have to point out one small problem here, and then we'll get on to the main point. The small problem, of course, is the TCA that he's referring to. The TCA is not going to be renegotiated anytime soon. It's up for review in 2026. So both sides, the UK and the EU, will sit down and review, not negotiate, but review what went well and what didn't go well. And then at the areas that didn't go very well, they can discuss and see, okay, how can we fix these things? Now that's in 2026, but Davy is talking about something else here. He's talking also about the customs union. Now I've mentioned before, a customs union would be the right approach. It's not the same as being a member of the single market or the EU, but the customs union, if the UK was a part of it, would reduce a lot of the friction between the UK and the EU when it comes to trade. We're talking just about goods now. We're not talking about freedom of movement. So it would reduce a lot of the friction, and this is also important when it comes to trade between Great Britain and Northern Ireland, because Northern Ireland is part of the single market when it comes to goods. So it would reduce a lot of the trade friction between GB and Northern Ireland and the UK and the rest of the EU. Now, it would also see an injection of investment, because it would send a message to business that the UK is open for business. It's open to trade with its nearest partner. It's no longer interested in imposing economic sanctions upon itself. So this would send a very positive message to business, to investors. Yes, we're turning a corner. We want to have a better relationship with the European Union. We want to be part of the customs union. So this would send a very positive message. Now, as I said, it's not the same as being a member of the EU, and it's not the same as being a member of the single market. The single market has the 4 freedoms, one of those being freedom of movement. And a customs union would not involve that. So Britain would still have the problems of Brexit when it comes to accessing the workers it needs. You know, Keir Starmer and his government have said that they want to build 1.5 million homes. Being part of the customs union may make it easier to get some of the goods in, but it won't impact the labour market. So that's a different story. So this, of course, is extremely positive. Moving in the direction of the customs union would bring down a lot of those barriers. Now, of course, there is the other side of the argument. The Brexiteers will be up in arms over this, because they would say this is selling off our sovereignty. This would stop us from doing trade deals. Yes, and that's correct. If the UK was a member of the customs union, or it has a customs union with the European Union, it would no longer be able to do these trade deals. But have these trade deals have they been beneficial to the UK economy? No, they haven't. So the UK would lose nothing, almost nothing, if it had to abandon these trade deals with Australia, New Zealand, Japan, and CPTPP. So it would lose very little abandoning these trade deals, but it would gain a great deal because it would free up a lot of the trade between that's been reduced recently as a result of being outside the customs union. So this would be extremely beneficial to the UK economy. It's not the same as being a member of the European Union because the UK would still be a rule taker. It's a rule taker at the moment, but it would still be a rule taker. So this is a good first step. It's a positive step. And we're going to have to hear from the Conservatives maybe or Reform UK in what they have to say about this. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.